Funeral services will be held tomorrow for Richard Wheeler, the South Haven native who died fighting a wildland fire in Washington state. Wheeler was one of 3 firefighters killed when they were overrun by one of those wildfires. Wildfires, of course, pose a special kind of danger to firefighters. And new at 6, 24-hour News 8's Joe LaFurci spoke with a West Michigan firefighter who knows those dangers firsthand, Joe.
Yeah, Brian, the fire that killed Richard Wheeler was one of several that's been burning on the West Coast for weeks now. Michigan DNR firefighter Paul Rogers was helping fight one of those fires to the south in California.
I was a heavy equipment boss.
And in a wildfire, that heavy equipment, the bulldozers and plows, are just as important as the water. They cut away the brush that fuels the fire, creating lines to hopefully keep the flames in check. But what may sound as simple as plowing a row can be very dangerous, especially when it comes to West Coast terrain.
There was an elevation drop from where our defensive lines were. It was 2,000 feet to the bottom of the canyons to where the fire was at Nickowitz. This is the one I was on.
Paul Rogers is a Michigan Department of Natural Resources fire officer. He spent 14 days at the Nickowitz Peak Fire in Northern California, one of an outbreak of West Coast fires, including the one that killed Richard Wheeler. So many fires, crews had to be called in from as far away as New Zealand.
It's California, Washington, Oregon, out into the Great Basin now, out into Montana and Idaho.
This is how most of us envision the job of battling smoke and flames in a building. Wildfires are no less dangerous. It's just a different kind of danger. Oftentimes, the biggest difference between the two comes down to one word: containment. In a building, there are walls and a roof to slow down the progress of the flames.
Here, it's everywhere. It's growing. I mean, you might look over this fire I was on was 6,500 acres, which is small compared to some of them.
Add to that, weather can be hard to predict. A slight change could turn a fire that's under control into a major battle.
Your humidity could lower by 10%, and your temperatures go up, and the biggest driver is the winds. If you get a surprise wind event, then it will really push it right over the lines.
And right for a crew working the fire with no chance to retreat, sometimes overrunning them.
What kind of temperatures are we talking about?
1,500 degrees on up, so extreme heat.
That's what Richard Wheeler and those other firefighters face. Now, Wheeler's family is asking contributions be made in his memory to the Wildland Firefighter Foundation or the scholarship in his name at Grand Valley State University. We have the contact information for those scholarships at woodtv.com.
Boy, Joe, it takes a special kind of individual, I mean, beyond bravery.
Yeah, beyond bravery, you got to be thinking on your feet. You got to know terrain, you got to know weather conditions and how that fire may move. So a lot of physics there too, and it's a lot of stuff to know.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you, Joe. Sure.